The Venusaur drop event runs from 29th of November to 13th of December, so we'll have 2 weeks to get all the rewards and promo cards. Many people felt disappointed that they didn't manage to get the Lapras EX during the previous PvE event, so in this video I'll explain everything about the Venusaur event and share a super useful tip that's guaranteed to maximize your promo packs without wasting any event stamina. These are the promo cards you can get by completing the event solo battles. This absolutely dreamy Venusaur, Greninja, Haunter, Onix, and Jigglypuff. And while all the promo cards look different to their basic card versions, only Haunter and Jigglypuff are actually different in their abilities and HP. The basic Haunter has 80 HP and his attack, Will-O-Wisp, costs 1 Psychic Energy and deals 30 damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. The promo Haunter has 70 HP, but his ability, Surprise Attack, while also costing 1 Psychic Energy, can deal 50 damage, but of course, there's a catch. You need to flip a coin, and if you get tails, the attack does nothing. So you win big with the promo Haunter, but you can also lose big. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of coin flips, so I try to avoid them, but I can definitely see the value in the promo Haunter. 50 damage for 1 energy is nothing to scoff at, and with Giovanni can often one-shot a basic Pokemon. The promo Jigglypuff might cause a huge shift in the meta. Unlike the basic Jigglypuff, who has 60 HP and needs 2 colorless energy to pound our opponent for 30 damage, this promo Jigglypuff has 50 HP and deals 0 damage, but it does put your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep for only 1 colorless energy. Asleep is one of those special conditions that can be super frustrating for your opponent. If they don't manage to roll heads at the start of the turn, they can't really do anything that turn since their Pokemon won't be able to attack or retreat. You can wake a Pokemon by evolving it or by using a trainer card like Koga, but if you're playing Mewtwo EX or Pikachu EX, you're out of luck unless you can roll heads to wake them up. I suspect promo Jigglypuff will be used a lot as a stalling Pokemon for decks that want to build their carry Pokemon on the bench, which may cause the meta to shift more from basic EX Pokemon decks to decks with more Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon. So I'm expecting to see less Articuno EX and Mewtwo EX decks. By beating the event solo battles, you can get a promo pack that will contain one of the cards we just talked about, but the chances of getting a promo pack will depend on the difficulty of the solo battle. There are 4 difficulties in total: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Just like with the Lapras EX event, you will need to beat the event on every difficulty at least once before the next one unlocks. Whenever you beat the difficulty for the first time, you get first time rewards like pack points, shop tickets, shine dust, and XP. The chances of obtaining a promo pack on the beginner difficulty is 51%, on the intermediate difficulty 64%, on the advanced difficulty 80%, and on the expert difficulty 100%. On every difficulty there are also side missions you'll be able to complete for extra rewards. On the beginner difficulty, for example, there are 2 side missions. 1, knock out your opponent's active Pokemon 1 time with an attack from a fire type Pokemon, which rewards 3 event hourglasses, and 2, put 3 basic Pokemon into play, also for 3 event hourglasses. There are similar missions for every difficulty, and starting from advanced difficulty, you will receive wonder hourglasses for completing the missions instead of the event hourglasses. To participate in each battle, you will require event stamina. Yet another currency, I know. Event stamina recovers at the rate of 1 every 12 hours, so it's a rather slow recovery. But if you complete the side missions from the beginner and intermediate difficulties we mentioned earlier, you'll be able to recover event stamina using event hourglasses. The exchange rate is 1 for 1, which is very reasonable, and this is where you can be super efficient with your event stamina. We only really want to grind the top difficulty of solo battles because that is the only difficulty that guarantees a promo pack, so we really don't want to waste event stamina on lower difficulties. And since you only use up event stamina if you win a battle, we can try and complete all the side missions on beginner, intermediate, and advanced difficulty first before winning a match on that difficulty. We might have to use at least 5 event staminas on the advanced difficulty, but we'll get there in a bit. For example, on the intermediate difficulty, you have to win the battle by turn 14 for 3 event hourglasses. What if we win the first battle on that level on turn 16, depleting 1 event stamina without completing the side mission? We would have to use up another stamina to try and win the game by turn 14, using up another event stamina we could have used on expert level for a 100% chance of a promo pack. So try to complete all the event missions before you win your match on the first 3 difficulties difficulty levels first. Concede if you have to, since you don't lose any event stamina for losing. Now let's go over the deck list I recommend using to complete every difficulty. You'll need different decks for every difficulty because of some of the side quests. For the beginner difficulty, our AI opponent will be playing a very basic grass type deck with no stage 2 evolutions. So they'll have Bulbasaur and Ivysaur but not Venusaur, Caterpie and Metapod but no Butterfree. Beating this deck should be a piece of cake and shouldn't take you more than 1 or 2 tries. The side missions are also super easy. We can probably get them done in one game by using a simple Blaine Burst deck. So we'll have 2 Vulpix, 2 Ninetales, 2 Ponyta and 2 Rapidash, but I would also add a few more basic fire Pokemon into the deck so we can complete the side mission of putting 3 basic Pokemon into play. I added 2 Heatmor and 1 Magmar to the deck, both basic Pokemon that we can play out straight away and don't require too much energy to start hitting. With the type advantage on our side, it should be a very easy win. For the intermediate difficulty, we can use a similar deck to the one we used for beginner, but if we want to finish the mission and get the win in one game, we need to add a Pokemon that can put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep. The easiest way would of course be using the promo Jigglypuff, since that's the cheapest and fastest way to do it. I doubt anyone would have that after just finishing a beginner difficulty unless you were very lucky. So if you did manage to get the promo Jigglypuff, I would recommend just adding that into your deck instead of the normal Jigglypuff. And then you don't really even need to add the Wigglytuff EX into the deck, and you can just run the full fire deck with just 1 promo Jigglypuff. If you did not manage to get a promo Jigglypuff, I would suggest the same Blaine deck, but instead of Heatmor and Magmar, we add Jigglypuff and the Wigglytuff EX. You can also try Frostmoth, Vileplume, or Hypno, but with Frostmoth and Vileplume, you have to add water or grass energy to your deck, which we don't really want to do, and Hypno is not guaranteed sleep. With Wigglytuff EX, we can guarantee putting our opponent's Pokemon to sleep, and it's a colorless Pokemon, so we can just use fire energy on it. Try to only use Wigglytuff EX to put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep, and use fire Pokemon to knock them out, since that's also one of our quests. The advanced level is a little bit awkward since one of the missions requires you to win 5 or more battles, which means we'll have to commit at least 5 event stamina if we want those 4 Wonder Hourglasses. I don't think winning battles on the expert level will count towards this mission, but I could be wrong. At this level, our opponent's deck is looking a lot scarier. That Venusaur EX is super tanky, so we need to either finish the game quickly before they get it going, or hit them very hard. So we can either stick with the Blaine Burst deck, or we can build a Charizard EX deck. Blaine Burst would of course be the more budget version, and Ninetales alone can one-shot their Go-Goat and Parasect with the help of Giovanni. I would suggest trying out this Moltres EX, Arcanine EX, and Charizard EX deck if you want a sure way to deal with the Venusaur EX, but we need to win at least 1 game without using any EX Pokemon, since that's one of the side missions. It requires you to win using a deck where all the Pokemon cards are of 1 diamond, 2 diamond, and or 3 diamond rarity. So no EX cards and no fancy schmancy star cards. Blaine Burst combined with a normal Arcanine should deal with them well. We might have to do this difficulty 5 times though, so once you got your win without EX cards, I would suggest steamrolling through the AI with the Charizard EX deck for the other 4 games. It's a very expensive deck though, so if you don't have Charizard EX, I would just stick with the Blaine Burst. It should not be too difficult to beat the challenge with the budget non-EX deck. Finally, we have the expert level where the AI plays pretty much one of the best Venusaur EX decks in the meta. Again, we should be able to deal with the deck easily with Blaine Burst, but Charizard Arcanine will work here as well. I did want to showcase another fire deck in case you wanted some variety. This deck features Centiskorch, the hardest hitting non-EX fire Pokemon in the game. Centiskorch deals 130 damage, well 150 to grass Pokemon, so he will be able to finish Venusaur EX off in 2 hits, even if they heal using Giant Bloom and play Erika in the same turn. Centiskorch does require a lot of energy though, so we do need to add Moltres EX to this deck to help us out in that department. Now that we're on expert difficulty, I would only grind this level, so we're guaranteed a promo pack for every win. Every promo pack only contains 1 card, and the odds of getting different cards are different. You have a 23.8 chance of opening Haunter, Onix or Jigglypuff, 15.8% chance of opening Greninja, and 12.6 chance of opening Venusaur. Unlike last time with Lapras EX, the promo Venusaur is the same as the basic Venusaur, just a different skin really. So it probably won't feel as bad not to get it, but still, getting at least 2 copies would be pretty nice if you like collecting every card. Like we mentioned earlier, Jigglypuff is probably going to be the most used Pokemon out of the promo cards, but I can see Greninja being very popular too. The basic card is a stage 2 Pokemon of 3 diamond rarity, so for a lot of players, this might be their best chance of getting a copy or two. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the event. Let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments below. If you found the video helpful, please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye!